Why INFJs are the most dangerous MBTI type. If you're an INFJ or no one, stick around because you won't want to miss this. 1. Master manipulators of emotions. INFJs are highly intuitive and empathetic, which allows them to read people's emotions like an open book. This ability to understand others on a deep level means that INFJs have the potential to influence or manipulate emotions if they choose. While most INFJs use their skills for good, comforting and supporting those around them, when pushed too far, they can use this emotional intelligence to subtly influence others. This makes them incredibly dangerous if they feel betrayed or wronged. Imagine an INFJ in a leadership position. They can sense the emotional undercurrents in their team and use that knowledge to motivate, inspire, or manipulate. If their values are compromised, an INFJ might know exactly which emotional buttons to push to achieve their goals. 2. Their visionary thinking can be ruthless. INFJs are often described as idealistic visionaries. They have a clear sense of purpose and are willing to go to great lengths to achieve their goals. While this makes them powerful in pursuing positive change, it can also make them relentless when they believe in something. INFJs are perfectionists with high standards, and when their vision is threatened, they can become surprisingly ruthless. Think of an INFJ CEO with a strong vision for their company. If anyone tries to stand in the way of that vision, be it a competitor, colleague, or even a friend, the INFJ may cut ties without hesitation. They prioritize the bigger picture over individual relationships, which can seem cold and calculating. 3. Mastermind behind the scenes. INFJs are introverts, which means they tend to avoid the spotlight. But don't mistake their quiet nature for weakness. INFJs are often the masterminds behind major decisions, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. They're strategic thinkers who can anticipate problems before they happen, making them highly dangerous when it comes to long-term planning and manipulation. An INFJ in a corporate setting may not be the loudest voice in the boardroom, but they're often the ones guiding the decision-making process from behind the scenes. They see the bigger picture and know how to influence outcomes subtly and effectively. 4. Silent but intense passion. INFJs are known for their calm and composed demeanor, but beneath the surface lies intense passion. This passion can drive them to achieve incredible things, but it can also make them dangerous when they feel deeply about something. INFJs are often driven by their values, and if those values are threatened, their calm exterior can give way to fierce determination. If an INFJ feels that their moral beliefs are being challenged, they will fight back, quietly but fiercely. They may not engage in loud confrontations, but they'll work behind the scenes to dismantle what they perceive as wrong. 5. Strategic withdrawers. When an INFJ male and INFJ female feel overwhelmed or betrayed, their first instinct is often to withdraw. While this may seem like a retreat, it's actually a strategic move. INFJs use this time to analyze the situation, regroup, and plan their next steps. This makes them particularly dangerous because they don't act out of impulse, they act out of careful consideration. In a relationship, if an INFJ feels betrayed, they won't necessarily confront the person immediately. Instead, they'll withdraw, reflect on the situation, and when they re-emerge, they'll have a well-thought-out plan to either repair or end the relationship on their own terms. 6. Ability to read between the lines. INFJs have an incredible ability to see beyond the obvious. They can read between the lines, picking up on subtle cues and hidden meanings that others might miss. This gives them a psychological advantage in almost any situation, whether it's in personal relationships, at work, or even in negotiations. In a negotiation, an INFJ might notice small changes in body language or tone that reveal the other person's insecurities or weaknesses. They can then use this information to influence the outcome in their favor. 7. Weaponized introversion. Introversion is often seen as a quiet or passive trait, but for INFJs, it's a weapon. Their ability to observe and listen carefully gives them an edge in understanding complex situations. INFJs often stay quiet during conflicts or discussions, but that doesn't mean they're not paying attention. They're gathering information, analyzing motives, and planning their response. During a heated argument, an INFJ might stay silent while others are shouting. But when they finally speak, their words are precise, cutting through the noise and hitting at the heart of the issue. 8. Idealistic to a fault. INFJs are driven by their ideals, which can make them dangerous when they believe they are fighting for a just cause. They see the world in terms of right and wrong, and when they feel they are on the side of right, they'll stop at nothing to achieve their goals. This idealism can make them rigid and uncompromising. In activism or social justice, an INFJ might become so focused on their cause that they're willing to sacrifice relationships, comfort, or even their own well-being. They'll do whatever it takes to bring about change, making them formidable opponents to anyone who stands in their way. 9. Perfectionism can lead to burnout or destruction. INFJs are perfectionists, constantly striving to improve themselves and their surroundings. While this can be a positive trait, it also makes them susceptible to burnout. When an INFJ feels they've failed to live up to their own high standards, they can turn that frustration inward, becoming self-destructive. On the flip side, if they direct that frustration outward, they can become destructive to those around them. An INFJ who is dissatisfied with their work environment might not only leave their job but also work to expose the flaws in the system, leading to dramatic changes, or even its downfall. 10. Emotional depth paired with emotional control. INFJs experience emotions intensely, but they also have the ability to control and compartmentalize those emotions when needed. This makes them dangerous because they can appear calm and composed while harboring intense feelings underneath. When they finally do express their emotions, it can catch people off guard, often with devastating effect. In a romantic relationship, an INFJ might seem calm and patient, but if they've been hurt repeatedly, their eventual confrontation will be intense and unfiltered, leaving their partner stunned by the emotional depth they've been holding back. 11. Ability to adapt and change. INFJs are not static personalities. While they have core values, they are highly adaptable to new information and experiences. This makes them dangerous in a competitive or adversarial environment because they can evolve their strategies and tactics based on the situation. They're always learning and growing, making it difficult for others to predict their next move. In a business setting, an INFJ might start off as a quiet team member, but as they gain more experience and insight, they'll adapt and soon become the most influential voice in the room. 12. Their unwavering moral compass. Another reason that makes individuals with the INFJ personality very dangerous is their unwavering commitment to their moral compass. Once an INFJ decides that something is right or wrong, they will not compromise. This makes them powerful advocates for change, but also dangerous enemies to those who oppose their values. In social movements, INFJs are often at the forefront, not because they seek attention, but because they believe in their cause so deeply that they cannot remain silent. Their moral integrity gives them the strength to fight against any opposition, no matter the cost. INFJs are considered the most dangerous MBTI type not because they're malicious or harmful, but because of their unique combination of emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, and unwavering idealism. They can inspire, lead, and protect, but they can also challenge, dismantle, and even destroy when they believe something or someone is standing in the way of their vision. If you're an INFJ, embrace these powerful traits, but use them wisely. And if you know an INFJ, remember, never underestimate the quiet ones.